authorizing, 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 authorizing.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Pinstripes Uncensored. This is episode 25. You know who I am. I'm CK. That's my guy right there, Anthony, King of the Pinstripes. Yankee gear as always at every home game. Anthony, how you doing?
Doing great. Doing great as always because it's finally coming along. We're getting just started. I can't wait to see what else we have in store. But other than being great, I'm pissed off that Toronto won.
Yeah, but I guess we have to be Toronto Blue Jays fans for now. And
What? Oh, I will get no one.
so our guest has done everything in baseball. He's been an on-the-field announcer. He hosts Twitter Spaces. He's actually the godfather of Twitter Spaces. He actually did the first combination of a podcast between Yankees and Mets. Welcome to Pinstripes Uncensored for episode 25. The man, the myth, the legend, Rich Rivera.
What's going on, guys?
up,
CK
man?
Anthony. It's a pleasure to be on. It's a long time coming. I don't know about the first CK. I'm sure there's Mets Yankees podcasts that are out there that happened long before ESB, but I'll just say we're probably the best one. So I'll throw that out there.
You're the best and most popular and most entertaining. How about that?
I was just about to say that.
Appreciate it.
Hold
I appreciate
yourself to a high standards. Say that you're the best and you're the only one.
100%. It's like, if you think about it, guys, you know, you're New York bred. You see pizzerias at every single corner that say they're the number one pizza. They legally can say they're the number one pizza. Who's going to – Joe Schmo can walk in and say, you guys are the best pizza. All right, we're the number one pizza because Joe Schmo said we suck. So that's how it's got to be. You got to think you're the best at whatever you do, because how else are you going to have confidence, right?
For sure.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so before, like I said in the intro, before you got in the podcast world, you were the on-the-field announcer for the Somerset Patriots. Walk us through your experience through them.
I had an awesome 5 seasons with the Somerset Patriots. So it's funny. I got started with the Patriots when they were still an independent run organization, when they were affiliated with the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. And that was in 2016. Did the job for a few years. Actually, funny enough, when they had me try out, which obviously they should, if they're trying to get an on-field announcer, they got to try out whoever they got to do. They had me in June in the middle of an empty stadium, empty TD Bank ballpark, to simulate what the on-field host is going to do between innings. And I'm out there with a 3-piece suit, sweating. They didn't tell me to be in a 3-piece suit, but I'm going to make an impression. I want to be like Craig Sager out there. I came out, it was like 90 plus. So I'm sweating my ass off out there in the middle of a stadium. But I tell you what, the hardest part of the tryout is trying to do it in an empty ballpark where there's no reactions. There's no one to play off of. And when I got into the role, the easiest thing for me I felt have the most confidence in holding a microphone in front of a packed TD Bank ballpark is look for those like 1 or 2 faces that are like, okay, those are familiar faces. Like they're having a good time. Like you ignore the other like 8 to 10,000 people in the ballpark. So had that great opportunity in 2016. Continued it, into when the Yankees got affiliated. Really cool stuff. Obviously, the Yankees are my favorite team. That's my blood right there. I love the New York Yankees. So when they got affiliated, of course, I needed to stay put to be a part of that. And again, it was great 5 seasons I had with them, and I'm blessed to get to know a few people from that organization.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us how you got started with the Empire State Baseball. What was your inspiration for creating a Mets and Yankees combined podcast?
I love the debate. I we see it all the time on sports radio, and I think it's, we always get cheery over a good Don LaGreca rant on the Michael K show, or anytime when hosts are going back and forth. And I felt like I wasn't seeing a lot of that around. And I thought, hey, what's the easiest way to get people mad at each other? Well, why don't we just put Met fans and Yankee fans in the same room for an hour, and it could just be the Subway Series meets a podcast. And I think that would be easy. The hard part was trying to figure out, okay, what's the best team to assemble here? Luckily for me, Corey Favs and Joe Puglisi, those are two of my longest friends for a very, very long time. Huge Met fans. One had fantastic speaking ability. The other one just knew how to debate. And I was like, this is the perfect two to start with. Tom Waspel, I had a Yankees podcast with, just like this one, for a year. He knew what he was doing. I was like, okay, I think I got my 4. And it's worked because we haven't had a change out through 145 episodes. We haven't killed each other yet. So that's good. We're doing all right.
If you see the landscape of New York baseball, I know, like you said, you're a Yankee fan, but who you think is going to win a World Series first?
Between the Mets or the Yankees, as much as I would love to rep my pinstripes proudly, it is tough to look at what's happening on the other side of the East River and know that Steve Cohen is willing to spend like a drunken sailor come any offseason. And it's when you get into the now 40-year mark since this organization hasn't won a World Series, desperation starts to set in. And Cohen publicly, he's a Mets fan, So as much as the fans are frustrated, Cohen himself is frustrated as well. And I'm sure he's going to use the dollars he has to use this offseason to try to put out the best product on the field. Not to say there's more of a lazy fare with the New York Yankees. Of course, the organization is looking to win, but 16 years compared to 40 years, I mean, there's going to be a hint more desperation on that other side. So if you're asking, I'm going to say the Mets. Unfortunately, I do think the Mets may come a bit closer. Doesn't mean I'm not going to give up on the Yankees. Doesn't mean I don't think they can't have a great offseason and build a great team. I think there's going to be an interesting caveat at the end of 2026 with the CBA and the lockout potentially looming. So I think there's a lot of owners who might get a little bit crazy this offseason. So we know that we have a full 162 game stretch because we don't know what's going to happen in 2027. But I'm going to say the Mets.
Awesome. Okay. I respect that answer. So you spent your co-hosts, Corey, Joe, and Tom. So based on watching you guys, Corey's a chill one. Joe is like the loud one.
Yep.
Tom's a snarky one, and you're just the glue that holds everything together. Like
I try my, the best comparison I can make though, CK, it's a professional wrestling tag team match, and there are different characters involved. I think the 4 of us, not only do we represent, different, well, the 2 and 2 represent different teams, but the 4 of us also represent different sides of the fan base. Like Tom and I are completely different Yankee fans. Like we disagree a lot of times on how we view the New York Yankees. And Corey and Joe also have that in them. Like Corey can be chill, but there are times where Corey, like there's been some episodes, CK, that I could point you to that Corey can snap on the New York Mets. I mean, case in point in 2025. I mean, what a disappointing season for the team. Joe, I think, has actually leveled off a bit, surprisingly. He's now starting to settle into the fact that, okay, we're getting closer. It's still very frustrating. But I know that this team is better hands now with Cohen and the current organization than they were years ago with the Wilpons.
Okay. All right. If you could have a boy band between the ESP crew, who's the lead singer? I think you could be the lead singer, but who's your background singer? who's your
so much pressure.
Who's your background singer? Dancer,
tell you,
and the bad boy of the group.
Oh, okay. Who's the bad boy of the group? Man, this is a good question. The bad boy of the group, it's got to be Tom, right? Like Tom rocks the sunglasses in every single episode. True. Like he is the Yankees heel of the show. So yeah, I'd say he's got to be like that bad boy of, I guess, our version of NSYNC, right?
Yeah.
All right, so he rocks the sunglasses every single show.
Yep.
So there was a gimmick that he tried to get in on there. I want to say like halfway through our episodes of Empire State of Baseball, where one day he turned around and he was like, I'm going to pull an old school 1999 Triple H and just turn on everybody. And I'm like, sounds great. Sounds entertaining. So yeah, Tom's the one that on the show, if you're in the chat and it's a live show. So if he pulls out a comment that he doesn't like, he calls it out. Like he does not care.
That's why I said he's a snarky one.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So speaking of wrestling, are you a wrestling fan?
Massive. Yeah.
Okay. Top 5 greatest wrestler of all time.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So this question came about, unfortunately, when Hogan passed, because like Hulk Hogan and what he did for professional wrestling can't be, it can't be dumbed down. He changed the game. Without Hulk Hogan, there's no pro wrestling. But now let me ask you a question, King of Pinstripes, Anthony. Are you asking top 5 overall performers or top 5 icons of professional wrestling? Because they're two separate questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
Let's just go overall, right? No one side or another. Overall, greatest of all time.
Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker.
So that's Shawn Michaels is 5.
Oh, I didn't know I was going in order. Shawn Michaels is number 1.
Number 1.
Shawn Michaels is number 1,
Ooh.
easily.
Ooh.
I think he's the greatest overall performer that WWE has ever had. I think he was the great on all. If you're gonna say like a 5-tool player like baseball, like Shawn Michaels is a 5-tool player. Like he was able to pull off any move. Great on the microphone. Great entertainer. Like he was fantastic. I'd say Undertaker comes in at number 2. For overall, Stone Cold.
Yes.
I love Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
Yes.
Number 4, just because of his longevity and for him to do it in almost, I think at this point, every single wrestling company there was, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's impact in the business, the fact that he had, the Rock, not the Rock singing, but the Fozzy background. He's just an overall entertainer, and I think he was just made for it. Number 5 overall, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'd say just missing is Kurt Angle. I absolutely love Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone said those, like the 5 that you mentioned. So it's great to hear something different, right?
I think Stone Cold got to be in everyone's top 5.
No,
though.
yeah, Stone Cold, but it's always Undertaker first. Is always The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Always, the usuals, right?
Yeah.
So, for you to say Shawn Michaels number 1, that's pretty awesome. Since we're in the wrestling category right now,
I love it.
This is like my favorite one. Top 5 greatest tag team of all time.
Ooh, okay. Well, 2 of them just had a match at TNA Bound for Glory for the final time. Yeah. So, of course, I got to start the list off with the Dudleys and the Hardys. Dudleys at 1, Hardys at 2. Okay. The next, oh man, I wasn't prepared for this. Well, the next 3 are tough. I mean, I guess I should complete the TLC triple. Go Edge and Christian at number 3. I mean, those are my classic teams right there. 4th, and only because one half of the team actually happens to be like my favorite, like wrestler, like my personal, like favorite wrestler. The world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. I think as far as a pure athleticism standpoint, I don't think you get any better than those 2 in the mid 2000s. So that's number 4. Number 5. Number 5. You know what? Let's give WCW some love. We'll go a little Harlem Heat. We'll go Booker T and Stevie Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My favorite of all time. I don't know if you call it a tag team, but still, it's 3 guys. The Shield.
Oh, I was about to start doing the clap for the New Day.
Not the New Day.
100. Okay, yeah.
The Shield was my favorite of all time. They just leaped over DX, so for me, the Shield was everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns for me is number 1.
Love that, man.
We have to acknowledge the
acknowledge your OTC.
Yeah.
CK, we got to throw it up here for
Come
Roman
on,
Reigns.
CK.
Come on, now, you got to
put
join
that
us.
One up. Put that one
I
up.
That one. I'm right doing.
If you don't, that's a sign of disrespect.
I'm tripping.
All right, so let's just get back. By the way, that was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. Only on Pinstripes Uncensored.
That's what I said. That's what comes in the uncensored part. Anything
Mhm.
goes, right?
Awesome.
The Yankees.
Mhm.
You look back, you say what?
As far as this past season is concerned,
Yeah, past season.
yeah, I mean, listen, it's disappointing. I mean, it's been disappointing for the past 15 years. To see this team, on paper look as good as anyone and come up short on their goals. We knew that this postseason path was going to be a little bit more arduous than last year. I think we come to face the fact that, you play the Kansas City Royals and Cleveland Guardians on your way to the World Series. I think anybody would sign up for that, especially a team like the Yankees that have crushed the American League Central. The Yankees didn't have that path this year. I think the two great takeaways from this past postseason, if there's any, the Yankees were able to climb over Boston, even if it's a short series. That was a big bugaboo for them for the past 20 years of postseasons. Past 20 years of important games on the season. So the fact that they got over Boston was nice, and the fact that Aaron Judge, tapped into this postseason. He was, you cannot blame whatever happened. Yeah, exactly. The captain came. It was a coming out party for the captain in the postseason. Absolutely his best run thus far in his career, and you hope that he's got a couple more of those in him, because the Yankees are going to need that. If there's ever going to be a time where the Yankees are going to hoist a commissioner's trophy with Aaron Judge in this organization, it's going to be a big part of it's going to be Aaron Judge producing. But unfortunately, this year, Aaron Judge was the only one who produced for this team. The supporting acts were not there. They did not perform. I think on paper, again, you like how the team was built, especially coming out of the offseason of 2023 to 2024, when you lose out on Juan Soto. And look, the team that signed Juan Soto didn't even make the postseason. The team that went down the plan B route at least got within 2 games of making it back to the American League Championship Series. So I'm trying to take those positives into consideration, Anthony, but at the same time, I look what's ahead in this offseason. I just don't think there's a lot of available answers to the Yankees' current crop of problems now. And I was kind of running the numbers today, looking at where the high tax threshold is, which is going to be $304 million this year in the offseason, and where the Yankees kindly are cropped up with their current arbitration eligible guys. The Yankees may only have about $60 million worth of tax space to work with. And I don't know how many areas you can solve with just that number. And you also hate to say that this team also has to just rely on money to solve their problems, but this is what the Yankees have been built on for a number of years. So I'm disappointed. I'm trying to stay hopeful, but I'm starting to lose faith in the idea that this organization could win a championship while Judge is still a primary part of this team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say I agree. I agree, because I told someone I don't see the Yankees even winning all the way to like 2035.
That's
Like,
a long time.
yeah.
Oof.
Like, I don't want to think about it, right? That's a long time. I'm gonna get super damn old by then, but I really don't see them winning at all in the near future. And this is coming from me, right? Big time Yankee fan. Love my Yankees since I was a little kid. But if I have to that's one thing about me, I keep it real, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fans, they don't want to like keep it real. They just want to stay positive, which we all do. But when you keep it real and look at the list, I really don't see us winning anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough reality. Again, I look at what's ahead. We mentioned, I mentioned before about the CBA at the end of 2026. And I wonder if the organization sees that and is like, well, listen, we don't know what's going to happen after. Like, maybe we have to get a little bit more crazier than we expected this next off season, and put out the all-in team that we've been telling our fan base, hey, we're on that precipice, or right there. I'm sure you guys saw the press conferences last week, and I'm pretty sure you guys weren't too happy with what was said at the press conferences last week. And a lot of it is somewhat damage control. A lot of it is subliminary messages. We've been through the same act for a number of years. And I don't know if there's going to be any real change until there's systemic change. And that comes from the front office. And I've also held this at point, and CK, you've heard me say this multiple times. It doesn't matter what players you bring to this team. If you're not changing the ways of playing baseball, it does not matter, because you're just, taking, for example, okay, Anthony Volpe is the obvious case of somebody who's had so much hope, and the Yankees invested so much into this kid, and not really monetarily, just more of, look at all the shortstops they passed on to allow this kid to grow over 3 years. Nothing's worked. He was our number one bear of the season this year, like that for ESP purposes. That's like the worst player in New York for the entire season. He was terrible. They invested so much into him that they passed on so much. And I can't, this organization can't be that oblivious to the fact that they may just have a failure here. I mean, I hate to say it, like, I had so much hope for him, like many Yankee fans, but like, when are you guys ever going to look in the mirror and be like, okay, maybe what we tried to do here didn't work. Let's try something else. And I don't know, is that something that has been a problem across the 30 years that this organization has been together? Do they just need new voices in there? I don't know, man. It's just, I have a lot of questions for how they come up with the decisions they are, but I think a lot of the issues they have stem from what the executives are making.
You think we're gonna get worse as soon as, if there's like a cap? Is there a salary, I should say, right? You think it's gonna get worse?
I have no prediction on how any team is going to function after the CBA. I don't know what they're going to agree on. I feel like if there is a cap, there's definitely going to be a lockout. I think there's got to be definitely tighter restrictions on owners who do not spend, and there are got to be tight restrictions on owners who do spend too much. So it gives it across the board, there's going to be substantial change for how owners are going to have to, or not owners, but how executives are going to have to run their baseball club. So I don't know how to prepare for it when I don't know what these players are going to agree with Major League Baseball. I simply don't know. I'm just hoping while we have 2026, while we have another season ahead under the same criteria now with the ABS system involved, let's make this the season that we have to go all out as best as we can, because we simply just don't know what's going to happen beyond this.
Who's all out to you? Think about players, right? That comes to mind. If you're a GM, right?
Sure.
Which you should take somebody's job. I'm just saying. Who are you getting?
I guess we'll start with the debate that we see a lot: Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker. It's one that
who? Kyle
Cody
Tucker?
Bellinger or Kyle Tucker. So I hear that's the biggest debate on here. Now, I don't know. I'm going to just say it right now. I don't know where either of you guys lie on that. So, and I probably should do a better job of that. But I'll tell you right now where I lie on it. As much as I would love to have Kyle Tucker here, and I will not be mad if the Yankees bring in Kyle Tucker, what I challenge is the fact that Cody Bellinger is a little bit more versatile. We don't know what the situation is going to be at first base. Cody Bellinger is a much better defender. Cody Bellinger is a much better base runner. And also, more importantly, Cody Bellinger is here. Like he knows what this is all about. He knows the press. He knows where to go to the bathroom in the middle of the game. His dad played here. Like, if it's a matter of if or, now if it's up to me, I'd sign them both. But if it's a matter of if or, Cody Bellinger.
Yes,
so
thank you.
You got him happy.
Yes,
that's where I'm. Yes. That's where I'm starting. As far as other players outside of it, I think there's going to be a question of what are you going to do with this catcher first base scenario, right? So let's say Bellinger is back. He's in your outfield. He adds, of course, a defensive upgrade up there. We don't know if the Yankees are going to actually give Jason Dominguez the run that I think the guy deserves at this point. I mean, he's the guy that you've called your golden goose in the minors for how long? Let's see him actually play 162. I'm not going to kill him so much this year because Trent Grisham did go out, hit 34 home runs. Nobody expected that. And that's what's going to happen. So let's see Dominguez get a little bit of run out in the outfield. But in the first base catcher mix, I'm more curious about a lot of people clamoring for Munetaka Murakami. I would highly avoid that. As much as a Japanese presence would be cool here, we haven't seen really much of that from an offensive perspective since Hideki Matsui, and it would kind of be a nice little callback to that. His strikeout rate is I fear that. I don't think the Yankees need that currently on this team. I like the idea of Ben Rice potentially going behind the plate and the Yankees moving on from Austin Wells. And I know a lot of people like Wells, but you can't have so many left-handed hitting catchers in your depth chart. You got to have something's got to change in that mix there. So whether you're going to lean on Rice or Wells, and I would more go with Rice, that's got to change. So then it opens up first base. I know there's a non-popular name out there in free agency that a lot of Yankee fans remember a couple of years ago with a certain other team. And I tell you what, if you look back at this Mariners-Toronto Blue Jays series, you know who was the best hitter on the Seattle Mariners throughout the 7-game series? It was Josh Naylor. And I'm sorry, maybe you need some kind of spunk on this team to kind of change the net. Listen, you got Jose Caballero in there, who the Yankee fans, considered a pest when he was a Tampa Bay Ray and a Mariner. Maybe you need another pest in Josh Naylor to play first base for you. So, I mean, those are two moves off the rip, Anthony. I don't know if I can give the full game plan at this point, but I'd start with those two. And I think a back-end reliever to support David Bednar and Camilo Doval in the bullpen is another area where the Yankees have to address, and possibly mid to bottom starting pitching with Rodon being out for a month. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind a veteran starter that you can sign, for maybe like a 1-year, $15 million deal. That's a variety of pitchers, though. But I think I'd start there.
My favorite part was the Cody Bellinger part. Thank you for that.
I've
been trying to tell him that all the time. Cody Bellinger's proven to play in New York. We don't know what Kyle Tucker. We don't know what Kyle Tucker could be, because obviously we have many superstars that don't pan out, and I don't want to take that risk.
Listen, if they went all evil empire on us and signed them both, I mean, I'm not going to be. Not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
But there's a lot, right? There's a lot to talk about, because I always on the show tell CK Yankees don't believe in Dominguez anymore. Mm-hmm. You say what to that? They don't believe in him. That's my opinion.
My opinion is it's tough to judge 2025 only because of what Trent Grisham did.
Yeah.
Now, if Trent Grisham
that's what exactly
played to the level of the.
Well, I see it as this real quick. He's a phenom. Allegedly, he was the Martian, the alien. As soon as you sit down, the kid that was going to be the next big thing during the playoffs 2 years in a row, it's just the writing is on the wall that it's like, I don't really trust him. It's nice to have him, but Cashman might be thinking, I don't know. We probably swung and missed when it came to him.
Here's my take with this. Maybe they learned their lesson and actually play him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they learned their lesson?
I never know how they're going to play their offensive prospects. And it seems like they don't really know what the game plan is for him. But then I also kind of chuckle at the fact that, okay, well, you can move on from Dominguez. Do you have Spencer Jones on the way? What makes you think they're not going to misplay Spencer Jones? Like, this is the thing. The Yankees, to their credit, have done a really nice job over the last couple of years developing young pitching. And that could just be their strength of their affiliates. I don't know what they are doing with the offensive players. And this is why I don't really have a loyalty to the offensive players in the minor leagues. And I love my Somerset Patriots, but if you're telling me you're trading one of the top-end Somerset Patriot players for something that's going to help you out in the major league level in 2026, I'm doing it in a heartbeat, because I don't know how this organization views some of their hitters here. And when it comes to Dominguez, Anthony, I understand your affliction there. If they don't believe in him, then why even have him? Two playoff series in a row where he did not play.
Yeah.
Last year, Alex Verdugo was in the mix there. I think an argument could be made. Well, if you're going to rely on Alex Verdugo because he's great defensively, then why didn't you give Trent Grisham a little bit more run? He's a left-handed hitter who is a great glove.
Not just that. If you think Dominguez is this next great thing, why is people beating him to the punch?
As far as beating him to the punch, like an Anthony Volpe, like other.
Yeah, like you have guys that you keep putting in his spot, right? Mm-hmm.
I
You
mean, how can
said
you not play him over Trent Grisham?
it's like you're
Trent
paying
Grisham.
you're Verdugo over Dominguez, Trent Grisham over Dominguez, but wasn't he this big hype? If
Well,
you're that good, no one is gonna play over you.
to rewind the clock a bit, I don't think the Yankees also make the trade for Alex Verdugo if Jason Dominguez doesn't leave the 2023 season hurt with Tommy John surgery. So the Yankees did it as an emergency
Well,
outfield move. And yes, Dominguez tore it up when he got back to rehab, when he went through AA and then in AAA, and then there was that midseason point, if you guys remember, in 2024, where it was like, you should call him up. I mean, the Yankees are faltering here in the midsummer. They're playing around with Alex Verdugo and Trent Grisham. They may have a better bat ready to go. The problem was defensively, it was hard to rely on the Yankees outfield. And yeah, Aaron Judge played a decent center field. He's not a center fielder. And Juan Soto is a below average right fielder. So you have to have some reliability somewhere in the field. And that's where Alex Verdugo came in handy, especially towards the tail end of the year. And look, the Yankees still came in within 3 games of winning the World Series without Jason Dominguez and with Alex Verdugo in the outfield. And my biggest thing was, well, if the Yankees aren't winning games because Alex Verdugo is not hitting out of the number 9 spot, I seriously have to question what's happening between 1 through 8 in the batting order. And in this year, it was just Trent Grisham with 34 home runs. So it's like, how do you expect that? Obviously we were coming into 2025 thinking that Dominguez was going to be the starting left fielder. Grisham had a power sprout, went on a power outage. I don't know how you're supposed to, defend that. At the same time, what I look at this is a kid who's 22 years old. Like most minor leaguers are, guess what, still in the minor leagues at 22 years old. So I want to have hope that the Yankees have two freaking outfield spots open going into 2026. Jason Dominguez has got to command one of them if he doesn't get moved.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now the catcher role. I told CK the other day, I don't believe in Wells whatsoever. I told him we need to get a veteran catcher. Who is the veteran catcher? Not sure. But they need to get someone out there that's a real veteran catcher going into the season, right? You say what now about Wells? Future, that's it. That's just who he is. Is he going to get better? Is it time to give up?
I think Austin Wells might be one of the more tradable assets the Yankees have based on his defensive metrics alone. He's top rated in blocking and in framing, and even with ABS on the way, it's still a very valuable asset to have a catcher because you can fool a hitter up at the batter's box and you're like, I don't know if I should challenge that because that might have been borderline, but that's because your catcher did a pretty good job back there in squeezing the glove in the right part of the plate. But that's where it stops. Like everything else about Austin Wells stinks. And again, you had another left-handed hitting catcher, which by the way, ranked 10th in hard hit rate across baseball, who you don't know is a first baseman or a catcher, but I mean, the guy played 100 plus games in the minor leagues behind the plate. He played a few up in 2025. I'd say and I agree with you, Anthony, if you can bring in a right-handed hitting veteran catcher that can pair up with Ben Rice to kind of show him the ropes a little bit more here, almost in the same way that kind of Goldschmidt showed him the ropes as a first baseman. It may not work out for Ben Rice as a first baseman at the major league level. I still think he has hope as a catcher because that's where he's got his most professional experience thus far. So I don't know who that right-handed hitting catcher is either, by the way. I mean, the easiest one is a guy who I think even at his age is still a starting catcher elsewhere in JT Realmuto. I actually don't think the Yankees go down that route. I think it's Ben Rice as a primary, and you get a right-handed hitting veteran catcher to go along with him. But offhand, I don't have a name.
If I had to pick a non-Yankee, one of my favorites is JT. And we could have JT, but they didn't want to give up Gary Sanchez. Now you see where Gary Sanchez is. Yep. It backfired. Not giving Gary Sanchez for JT, which he's a stud.
Mm-hmm. There's a nice contemporary history of the Yankees passing up on much better players that they should have never passed up on because they didn't want to trade Oswald Peraza.
All right, changing gears. Like I said, you host one of the greatest Twitter spaces on ESPN NY. I tell my co-host he is slacking. See what I did there on joining it. Tell him what he's missing out on.
Yeah, ESPN we're currently in off-season mode because we're sort of grieving, I guess, over here, but
Yeah.
it's called the Bronx Take. It goes live. It used to go live every day from Monday through Friday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time. But again, we're in off-season mode. We're actually going to start a weekly schedule of that X Space starting on Monday, November the 3rd, same time, 1:00 p.m. Eastern time at ESPNYY on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. But obviously, we're still doing our live streams, ESB, Empire State of Baseball Live, Mondays, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, every Monday.
And what's more challenging, hosting a Twitter space or YouTube Live?
YouTube Live, easily.
Got you.
Easily. I mean, I hate to kind of go behind the scenes here, but we're going to do that. We're currently operating on StreamYard, which I do the same as well. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into the StreamYard presentation.
Yeah.
And I get very intricate with the way I present it. There's a lot of slides. I build out about 20 to 25 different slides per show. So putting that all together, filtering the live chat and trying to make sure everybody's on their best behavior in there, because that's a whole other group. You have to make sure, hey, everybody's on the up and up, because some people just don't get along on social media, I guess. But doing all that, trying to produce, and then trying to transition the segments along, it's a lot more difficult on a live stream compared to an X Space. X Space is easy. Like, you guys kind of run the show, and I'm just here to basically play the Dean of Men here.
All right. So, who is your dream guest to be on Empire State of Baseball? Yep.
Mariano Rivera. I mean,
All
he's my favorite all-time athlete ever, and it's not because we share the same last name. I've always gone out and said it. Obviously Mariano's the greatest closer of all time. He's also the greatest baseball player to play his position of all time. You can make the argument everywhere else. You can make the argument of who's the greatest shortstop, who's the greatest second baseman, who's the greatest center fielder. You can't make the argument at closer. It's Mariano Rivera, and that's it. There's no B, C, D choices here. So Mariano, to me, plus, again, humble man of faith, nothing more that I respect there. So Mariano Rivera is at the top of that list. And I guess an announcer, I love the game of announcing. Yeah, it'd be cool to talk to Michael Kay.
Yes.
Be cool, really cool to talk to Kay or any of the Yankee play-by-play guys.
Yes. Okay. So you got Roback as a brand deal or sponsorship. What other brand would you like to work with or company?
Yeah, I love the fellas at Roback. What other company? I'm a big coffee guy, CK. You know that.
Yes,
so it's hard pressed for me not to say like a major coffee company like a Starbucks or a Dunkin'. Probably not Dunkin' because they're Boston based. But so we'll go and say the mermaid herself. We'll go Starbucks for the sponsorship deal.
Hey, Starbucks, if you're listening, please sponsor my guy Rich at ESPNYY.
And can you make your coffees cheap again? America, can you make your coffees cheap again?
Yes.
What happened here? Why am I paying $7 now for a medium cup of coffee no matter where I go? What are we doing?
Yes. Yes, what are we doing?
I love coffee. I tell everyone every single day, I gotta go to rehab for it, okay? But yeah, I gotta go to rehab for it. How about Starbucks just makes their coffee a little bit stronger? That's my only take.
Get behind that. I can get behind that. Both the coffee companies should make their coffees absolutely strong. Now, I don't know about you guys. Like, I'm an iced coffee guy only. Like, I do not drink hot coffee. So that's like, it's January. It's, almost -2 degrees out. And I'm still carrying the iced coffee in my hand as I walk into my office. Like that, it's only iced coffee for me. And there are some days where it's a hit, but most days it's a miss. So yeah, I agree with you. You got to listen, if we're going to raise our coffee prices to $7, if we're going to raise Dunkin' reward points up to 600 points, can we at least make the coffee strong? Simple as.
Yes, I get behind that 100%.
I'm a cappuccino guy. It's cappuccino for me all day, every day.
All right.
All day, every day.
I'm a frap guy. I'm sorry. I'm basic.
Hey, that's all right. That's okay. That's amazing as well. I change it up mostly in the summertime a little bit. Like if I'm home in the AC, cappuccino, right? But if not, it's iced coffee for me all day, every day.
There you go. Yeah, my guy. Actually, funny enough, now that we're on the topic of coffee, one of my interviews over the middle of the season was Emmanuel Barbari, who is the Yankees backup. He's like the alternate play-by-play man for
616
WFAN.
WFAN, yeah.
He hosts a post-game show. He's been on Sportsnet a bunch of times. And when I was reading his profile prior to the interview, he's a big iced coffee nut. And that was literally my first question. I was like, what's your order? And he all of a sudden, I don't have a coffee on me, but he slowly brings his coffee into shop with his name, Emmanuel, on the label. And he told me his order. And it was like, a regular coffee with a vanilla blonde shot. And I was on that for like a couple weeks. So, yeah, Barbari's a big iced coffee guy, too. Shout out to him.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with the hard-hitting question right here. All right, this is gonna be super hard. The hardest.
Now with the hard-hitting questions, I thought we had a bunch of those already.
But
all right, let's go.
I can't believe I'm not gonna pick. So don't even put that back on me. Don't turn the tables around.
Okay.
Toronto or Dodgers?
Dodgers. I'm not even. That's not even a thought. So the way I see it is this: as much as I hate both teams, we faced the Dodgers how many times throughout the regular season 2026? One time. One series. So that's 3 days of reminders that you're facing the defending back-to-back World Series champion Dodgers. Right. How many times we play the Blue Jays in 2026? We play them about 6 different times. I don't need that constant reminder. And also on the fact that they got through us to achieve that. Mm-hmm. So I don't need that reminder. So I'm sorry, as much as I hate the Dodgers and I hate their line of business, and listen, they went out, they spent their money, they somehow kept Ohtani out of prison. Good for them. I'm going to root for them. Let's go Freeman. Let's go Snell. Let's go Yamamoto. Let's beat the Blue Jays.
Wait.
Personally, I don't care, but if the Blue Jays win, I'd be happy for Donnie Baseball. That's just about it.
Oh, but that's so hard.
That's the only pro Jays take that I can support.
Yeah, me too.
At the same time, like, sorry, Donnie, not for you. Come back over to the good guys on a coaching deal. We have some spots open now. Listen, Dodgers. It's got to be Dodgers for me.
So let's just go back to that whole Ohtani scenario you just mentioned.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's a low budget show, so I don't think we have the money just in case we get sued. But
not your paycheck, not mine.
Yeah, allegedly, right? It was gambling situation. Mm-hmm. You think he's the one that
I think he's got the right
codes.
There's no code. Like, okay, sure, I'll cover up the logo here. Okay, so I'm not affiliated with this thing. Listen, he had the right fall guy. He's probably the only player that can get away with this. Maybe there's one of 2 or 3 in Major League Baseball who can get away with the same deal. And listen, they covered it up. Emmanuel Clase, I'm sorry. Like, either be like the best pitcher in baseball or have a better interpreter. I don't know what to tell you. Like, listen, he should be in prison. He should be in prison. He should never play the game of baseball ever again. That being Shohei Ohtani. So he got away with it. They covered it up. It is what it is. It sucks. It's not ethical, but this is baseball. And they felt like if we're going to let this guy essentially face a grand jury, we're going to lose our biggest star in the sport, and we're going to lose a lot of fans with it, and we can't allow that to happen. So I'll call it for what it is. He's directly associated with this, and they covered it up.
CK, is it me or is it getting hot in here?
No, it's not just
I like
you.
it. What other questions you got? What else you got?
All right, I'm going to ask a fun question. I actually stole this from Jonna, earlier guest from us. Shout out to her, 90s Yanks kid on Twitter, Babies Meet on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Killing it, great guest and great person. What would be your walkout song if you were a player?
What You Know by T.I.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
I had to go with a throwback there. There's a couple.
I love my 2000s rap, so I love it.
So it's funny. And NYYU, New York Yankees Underground. Another Underground here on the Yankees streams here. They hosted a softball game this past year. It was a charity softball game that Stand Up to Cancer was a part of. I was happy to participate in the game. They asked for our walk-up songs, and again, just like how you asked it immediately, T.I., what you know, and I came up to that and homered on that. So I was like, let's go. That is the song.
I love it.
All right, so since we're on the topic now of music, top 5 artists. Give me your top 5.
Top 5. Can I go?
All right, you know what? Let's go with the best, I guess, hip hop. Who's your top 5? 5 through the number 1 spot. Who you got?
5 through the number 1 spot all time. Tough one here. I have the names in my head. I'm just trying to sort them, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
I know.
All right.
Super hard.
Number 5 will go Eminem. I mean, this is my personal favorite. If we're doing like all-time icons, he'd probably be towards 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. I'll go Eminem 5. Only because I guess I just said him. I guess I'll go T.I. 4. I just like I vibe with more of his songs. I go him at number 4. Number 3, I'll go Kendrick Lamar. And it's crazy because number 2 is Drake, and it's so neck and neck, and we obviously know the rivalry there. And it's funny now that we got the Dodgers, Blue Jays playing each other, and now it's essentially the rivalry revisited in a baseball way.
The beef is starting back up.
But I'll actually, you know what? I'll revise my Drake. I'll say Drake prior to the Scorpion album. Mm-hmm. Drake from like 2009 to 2017 was fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, and feature Drake, you couldn't top feature Drake. Feature Drake, you can't beat him.
Who's your number 1? This is gonna be I gotta hear this one.
Oh wow. I actually can't believe I went with him at number 1, but I got to. And he's changed his genre multiple times, but only because I've seen him multiple times as well. Post Malone. Like Post Malone, between what he's done between hip hop, rap, alternative rock, and now country, he's shown that he's one of the most versatile performers out there. And it's something that I saw when I saw him in concert. Last time I saw him in concert was 2019. Hollywood's Bleeding just got released. And on the live show, he was playing around with some different genres. And I was like, wow, he actually has a lot more, versatility than just being a rapper here. And now he showcased that to the world. So just because I've seen him, just because I think he's cool as hell, and because he's done a great job in different genres, Post Malone's my number 1.
I could be on that list. I like it, actually.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I
it's
really
not bad
like
at all.
it. Like number 1, I know everyone is gonna say the same crap, so it's pretty awesome that you went that route. And yeah, I like it. Like you said, he did everything. Like he does it all, so it's hard to do.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. He's like Oswaldo Cabrera when it comes to music. He just plays. He's a super utility guy.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's
go. I like that.
I like it.
I like how you put it. Yeah.
Shout out to Oswaldo Cabrera, nicest guy in all professional sports.
From what I heard, I know you guys do a lot of the meet and greets, and so can I I'll turn this around. Let me turn this around to you guys.
All right.
I'm going to turn the interview around. All right. Now
it's the first time, but okay.
All right, listen. All right, you guys do a lot of meet and greets.
Yes.
Each of you answer this question. Who's your top 3 meet and greets? Like every time, it's a fantastic experience.
Oh wait, hold up.
Wait. That's not. Wait, hold on. So you put me on the hot seat for Otani. I can't put you on the hot seat for this.
Damn.
Well, who I'm putting for number.
Okay. Who's your 2 and 3? CK. Sorry.
Right. Cabrera, and Cabrera.
Wow. Oswaldo across the board.
All right. Obviously, number 1's Luke Weaver.
Yep.
Number 2 would be obviously Oswald, the nicest guy in all professional sports. Number 3. Does that be a baseball player, or can it be a football player too?
I mean, sure, you could. It's your show, not mine.
If I do a baseball player, JC was awesome. JC Scar was really awesome. Okay. But Sterling Shepard, when he was a New York Giant, he was amazing.
Yeah, I'm sweating again. Like, cause it's bad. Cause it's like I know, most of them.
Mhm.
Most of them, I'm just trying like to get to know, getting
Right.
started of knowing them, and hopefully building a relationship. So
Yes.
for me to answer that question,
To rank them, it's tough.
oh,
It's tough
tough, yeah.
territory for you to be
that's
in.
tough.
I get it.
But I always say I told Cabrera this when I was with him. I don't know. Life happened. Life is going by so quick.
Mhm.
I was like on the field. I don't know when that was. I think it was like September, I believe. And I told him, I keep saying it. He's the greatest person in the whole world. Just
Mhm.
everything about him. Like when fans go and meet him, he's not sitting down. He's standing up the whole time. Not only is he standing up the whole time, he's giving everybody hugs.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Makes you feel. And CK, you know this, right?
Mhm.
Stands up the whole time.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like your family. Like I love everything about him, and I'm gonna keep saying it.
All right, here's the uncensored part. He's one of my top Yankees of all time. Andy Pettit. You hear shy guy. It's nothing. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's bad or good, but shy
Mhm.
guy. Everything. I can't believe I'm gonna say this.
Oh, whoa! Is this bad?
This is what I
I don't
came
know. I don't
for.
know. I don't know if you could. I don't know if it's bad or good. You guys be a judge.
Can I pretend that I'm on the phone for a second?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, when I met him at Fnac. Actually, I met him twice, but my most recent one at Fnac Fest in 2024,
Mhm.
he was kind of dad joke-ish,
Mm.
not shy-ish, not shy at
Okay.
all, kind of dad
Uh,
joke-ish.
Right. Right.
okay, as
I was
long as
expecting it
it's
to be
good.
so bad. I was expecting like he was
No,
horrible.
I thought you was gonna say that he was just horrible to me.
No,
Right.
you can't say that about Pettit.
That's what I was
Okay,
ready for it. I was
I
getting
feel
ready
good.
for like, yeah, he
All
didn't
right,
give anybody the time or
I'm
day, just
gonna
keeping
hang
it
up now.
moving. Like I was expecting that. And I was like, okay, well, dad jokish, I think we can take
maybe
that.
dad joke. I don't know, depending on how you take that.
No, Andy is really great. I was talking to him for a couple of minutes in Cleveland last. Wait, was it last year? Shit. No, I think it was the year before. I don't know. Like
You
I
go to a
said,
lot of
life.
games, bud.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, when was that? Um, that was 20. Shit. When was it? When
I don't know. I was
Judge
there.
when
I
Judge
wish I
hit
had this
in,
problem. Like I remember the 2 games I went to this year. Like I remember when I
where
ate. Like
it was the playoff game when Judge and Stanton went back to back.
oh, in Cleveland.
Yes.
Oh, that's fire. That was
That was
game
last season. Yeah.
3.
No, that wasn't last season. That was the season.
That was
Wait, was it
that was
last?
game 2024 in the LCS.
Yeah, 24.
Because
Okay,
they
yeah.
already had the 2-0 series lead, and then we were like, okay, they just got us back
Yeah.
in here. We're gonna go 3-0 here, and then obviously,
Yeah.
sorry, CK to
So
remind you,
no,
Joakim Noel
it's all
had
right.
some of the other.
So like I said, life goes by so quick that I could say I went somewhere 2 days ago and that was like a year ago.
Right.
Pet is a nice dude.
Yeah. Hmm.
He I told him I loved him, and I even put the heart hands
Oh,
for
that's
him.
adorable.
So now
That's
that's
adorable.
dad joke is kind of.
Yeah, yeah. That's how much I love him. And he started laughing, and then we was just there talking for a bit.
I wonder how many times that guy gets. So when are you going to be the Yankees pitching coach? You got to think like because he's like the guy that a lot of WFAN Yankee fan calls. I'm not going to say every Yankee fan. Um, that's the guy who's like, all right, like you're in the organization already. You're doing this kind of ambassador role. You help out the guys when you can. Like, why don't you adopt a major league coaching role with the team?
He was a pitching coach at the World Baseball Classic in
Mm-hmm.
2023. I want to say 2024. Last one, yeah.
I I like Matt Blake.
Yeah, facts. Matt Blake, goat.
It's hard because if Matt Blake wasn't this genius, how I should say, I would have loved Andy Pettit, but it's hard because
Mhm.
that's the thing. It's hard to fire a guy that's pretty good at his job,
Mhm.
right? But hopefully, one year, like later, I guess in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that, but we'll see. See what happens.
All
I
right,
know
speak.
that
Good.
they might. I think there's one position that might open up after this year. So,
Oh boy.
oh boy,
You're talking about the
yeah, you already
the
know.
guy who stands at the top step and
Yep.
everybody does not like.
So I'm half and half, right?
Mhm.
I'm not a hater, and I think I lean more towards a supporter
Mhm.
because it's not all him. I should say, right?
Sure.
Everything starts at the top,
Mhm.
but let's say whenever he gets fired, right?
Mhm.
Who you have in mind?
Um, a completely different voice that's going to say, "Hey, like, this is my team. This is the way I'm going to run it. If you don't like it, hire somebody else." Uh, to me, believe it or not, somebody who's not been in baseball for a couple of years now, I would bring Joe Madden in to manage the New York
Ooh.
Yankees. And no one really talks about Joe Madden. It's not like he formally retired. He had his final job at the Cubs. He helped take the Cubs to their first World Series in over 100 plus years. I'm curious why his name hasn't been kicked around enough. Maybe he doesn't have interest anymore. He just that hasn't been publicized. But that's somebody off the top of my head. But again, I feel like it's sort of a moot point. The organization is in lockstep with Boone, and if they move on from Boone, they're just going to bring in somebody else who will be in lockstep with what the organization wants to do. Now, what I'm not going to do anymore, and this is like starting last week with the pressers. Again, Brian Cashman doubled down on the fact that he does not influence, and this was actually not the presser. It was on it was actually on one of the radio shows in New York. Brian Cashman doubled down on the fact that he has no influence over what Boone's decisions are in the clubhouse.
That's a
Now
lie.
we can try to call BS as much as we want, but now he's doubled down and said it. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, well, he said it. So maybe it is on Boone. Maybe Boone is doing this job on his own, and it's a poor job that he's done. I would say there are more times than not Boone is making an accurate decision. What's the proof of it? Reflective in the record. The Yankees have had a winning record in each season Aaron Boone has managed the team. So obviously the good choices outweigh the bad choices. It's just the bad choices are so publicized because of certain moments. Obviously, one of the biggest things we always think about is what happened in Game 1 of the World Series last year with the Yankees calling on Nestor Cortez outside instead of calling on Tim Hill in that in that final inning of play leading to the Freddie Freeman grand slam. Like that's a Boone decision that he's got to live with. It's a bad decision. But if you really want to break down the inning, Jake Cousins allows the first two base runners on. Alex Verdugo dumps over the left field fence on a ball that it was an amazing catch. He dumped over the left field fence, opened up first base. Now, where I got mad about that whole thing, even when you called on Nestor Cortez, you did it because his career matchups against Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts favors Nestor Cortez. You face Ohtani, get him out. Why didn't you face Mookie Betts? Because if the plan was you're going to try to induce the outs of those two, I don't care if first base is open. You go after Mookie Betts. That was part of the original plan. They walk him. No place for error. Freddie Freeman takes off on him. So obviously, a decision like that, there's been multiple decisions over the last few years. It's highly publicized because of the game, the impact of the moment, and unfortunately, Boone comes under fire because of it. But ultimately, they love him. They trust him, and whoever they call on to replace him, they expect is going to be the same quality manager.
Yeah. I was thinking about this today. I'm not gonna lie. You brought up Madden. I was like, why not go with a veteran, like a old school type of guy, right? We had Joe that he didn't really manage, right, before,
Sure.
but he's an old school type of guy. Obviously, Boone is as well, but I'm talking about someone that's been there before. I was thinking about this, right? Laying down, watching TV
I can't wait to hear this.
while eating chocolate chip cookies,
Oh,
Oh,
and it
cookies.
hit right.
Wait. What kind of chocolate chip cookies? We're talking Toll House. We're talking Chips Ahoy. What are we doing here?
I don't even know what the hell it was, honestly.
Wow,
I
okay.
even forgot. So it's
Sorry.
it. I was eating chocolate chip cookies, and it just hit me. I was like, wait, because I was watching this thing of the Montreal Expos, right? It's on Netflix, right? And I was like, why haven't we just hired someone that's very old school? I
Mhm.
know baseball and sports, it's more towards the young.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
No, I don't know with who, right? But why not just hire someone that's old school? Let's just start with that and see where it goes. Like you said, Madden wouldn't mind having a guy like that, very fiery,
Yeah.
right? That's what we need. Someone
And
who's
also has
very
never been
fiery.
involved with the Yankees organization. Maybe that's another thing too with the
That's
Yankees to
true.
consider. Somebody who's just never been part of the franchise.
Yeah, that
So
could
somebody who has
come in.
complete outside perspective on
Yeah.
how he can look at what's wrong with the Yankees and how he can fix it. Now, a lot of it he doesn't have to worry about. This is a team that does really well over a 162 game stretch. It's the question is, okay, now how do you win an extra 11 to 13 in October? That's the biggest question.
Yeah.
Well, I actually wanted Willie Randolph, but I kind of defeats versus outside the organization. I was
love
thinking
Willie
also,
too.
yeah,
I
Willie,
love
but
Willie.
I mean, I don't know if the organization will get him because they think he's too old, but I think he can still manage. But another name of George Lombard Sr. since the son might be Yankee one day, different like organization, so maybe that, but I don't see that happening either.
I know Lombard Sr. has a bit of coaching experience. Has he ever managed a team on the big league level?
No, he has not.
I
He's
don't
not.
think so, no. But I was thinking of someone old school because I miss it. I miss having like that old school presence, like seeing that face that everyone knows. Like this guy was like, let's say for example, whoever this guy was badass back in the days.
Like Luke Pinella kind of ish, right?
Yeah, like one
Yeah.
of those. And then you had damn, what the hell is his name from the Rangers, Texas Rangers?
Bochy?
He
Bochy?
won.
Ron
Yeah.
Washington.
No.
Bucci.
Before,
Bucci.
yeah, he won a World Series, right?
Mhm.
What is
Multiple.
he? Oh no, well, let's say recent, like
Mhm.
with the Rangers, because when he won the World Series before, it was still old school vibes, right?
Mhm.
Now everyone wants to get young, analytics, this and this, right? Bring back somebody like him. I'm not gonna say just him. There's other names, but that's what I'm praying for.
I think you're along the right path though of what we're trying to seek.
Yes.
Just a different voice, ton of experience, somebody who may never had a connection to the Yankees before. I think it's definitely different. I would wonder how a ball club that's only really been around Aaron Boone would welcome that. But again, we're talking about an organization that is infatuated by their manager, and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon.
All right. Maybe on a lighter note, so your fiance Alana, I got her name right?
Yes, she did. Yes,
Awesome. So she's also a Yankee fan based on a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Did the Yankees like strengthen your relationship and strengthen your bond in a way?
She loves the baseball team. She loves learning about the team. I don't think she necessarily likes the fact that it's a 162 game schedule. I think you get the best out of her fanhood within the first month of the season and within the stretch run into the playoffs. Otherwise, that May through August period is just rough. It's also summer too, and it's more of like, babe, get the hell off the couch. Like, we're going to the beach. Like, which is, I mean, that's fine. I'm cool with that too. Like, I'll get the score update later. But yeah, I think to answer your question, it is a core part of our relationship. It was a core part of how we met. We didn't differ in a lot of ways over the things we liked, and happenstance, the Yankees were one of the things we both really liked. Obviously, I liked them probably a little bit more than she likes them. but she loves going to games. She loves sitting around watching playoff games. So she's into it. She loves Judge. And she just like everybody else is like, they're doing this service by not putting a great team around Aaron Judge to win a World Series. Because I'm afraid, like all of us, that he will never see a championship as long as he's a member of this team.
Two things. I love 162, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wish it was longer, but it's
I love it.
It's one. I love baseball. Like once Yankees the season is over, I don't even know what to do with myself. But 162, I love it. Plus playoffs. The other thing is, she loves. You said going to the beach and doing other things throughout the summer.
Sure.
I haven't had a summer in a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm pretty jealous because everything for me is the Yankees. So if I go to a beach one time now per summer, yeah, that's a lot.
You know what though? The way
He was
I
in
see
Miami
it,
recently too. Come on.
Wait. But
I mean that's pretty sick.
I went to Miami for what?
The Marlins game.
The Yankees, Marlins. And
Actually,
then
I'm gonna tell Rich this. So he got indirectly mentioned on the broadcast actually because he took a picture of Paul O'Neill, and Paul O'Neill actually the caster was like, I saw on Instagram a picture of you and a guy, and the caption was wait for Uber for some long amount of time, right?
So to get an Uber or anything around there is gonna take maybe like 2 hours, right?
It's a nightmare.
Oh, because there's only one way out. That's it. You can't do anything. They have and I want to mention who had a big problem, and I'm not trying to like put his business out there, and I can't blame him for being a little angry.
Okay.
Jazz. I saw him in his crazy car. I'm not going to mention what he drives, but he was a little upset because they wasn't allowing him to go through a certain way and he had to leave, right? I'm pissed myself as well, right? I was waiting for an Uber forever, and I see Paul O'Neill, then we was just there talking, and we was really talking for about like 20 minutes.
That's cool.
And it was insane. Like he was getting upset. I'm just trying not to show my upset side in front of Paul O'Neill. So I got to keep it professional, but deep down my blood was boiling because I'm like, why is it taking forever?
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Michael K, shout out. Michael K was shouting
I'll tell you what, at least you guys were waiting for an Uber in Miami for a long time. I had the same kind of issue outside of a ballpark, waiting for an Uber, but the problem was I was in the south side of Chicago waiting outside the White Sox ballpark for longer for an Uber. And the people aren't that pleasant out there in the south side of Chicago.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's Miami. Over there, it's beautiful, like around that area, you think most part, I guess. But yeah, it was all I have to say is the Marlins, get your shit straight because it is awful.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, like I was saying, I would love to do more summer activities because I don't have a life when it comes to that. Once baseball season starts, all the way until it ends. By the time it ends, it's winter, and I don't do anything during the winter other than work, and that's about it. Right. So it's good that you get to go to the beach.
But isn't that right there more of a reason why you should do more stuff during the summer that's not baseball affiliate? Listen, I love this team. I love the game. I do the show. So I put a lot of it's all about the Yankees. It's all about the captain on CK shirt. And for me, listen, I put a lot of time invested into these two logos behind me right here. But at the end of the day, I also gotta, look out for number one. I also gotta go on those beach days, go to the bar a few nights, go to a nice restaurant, take a pretty girl out and have a great time. Listen, that's what we're trying to do. And listen, I met the best one, and who also happens to be a Yankee fan. So you guys have definitely seen. It pains us to watch it as Yankees fans. You guys have definitely seen the movie Fever Pitch at one point, right?
Yes.
Jimmy
Can I
Fallon?
say something?
Jimmy
Go ahead.
Fallon, actually, not Kimmel.
Go ahead.
I've never seen it.
I mean, it is like
I've
it's
seen
not
it
one of
once,
those where I'm gonna
blinded.
like crush you for it, because if you're like,
It's a Red
I've never
Sox
seen The
movie.
Sandlot, I never seen The Field of Dreams, that's a problem as a baseball. You've
okay.
never seen those movies, have you?
I'm glad because I thought I was gonna get like ripped on.
No. I'm just
Continue.
saying, Fever Pitch is not not one of those movies. But so if you're familiar with Fever Pitch, CK, you know like
He's a
how,
Red Sox fan too, so I'm
Fallon's
expecting to watch
character-
it.
But Jimmy Fallon's how he treats a relationship is completely different from the on season to the off season, right?
Mhm.
He's so invested in his team, like nothing can change. Like, oh, I'm watching the game. Oh, I don't want to hear anything about the game when I'm out to dinner. Like he's putting his hands in his ears when he hears a radio nearby. Like he's crazy. But during the off season, he's invested in the rest of his life.
Mhm.
And I never wanted to be that type of fan. I always wanted to still have like that balance, because you could still be a crazy fan during the offseason too. Look, we're going to be fully invested into the hot stove, right? Especially when the winter meetings come. I'm sure you guys are going to be like all over X or whatever you're going to get your news from.
I barely sleep.
And where. So there's going to be that imbalance throughout the year. So you got to find that inner balance, especially during the summer when it's nice.
Yes.
Like go do some other stuff that's not baseball related. I'm telling you, when you step away from it, it makes you miss it and appreciate it even more. So when you come back the very next day to turn on the game or go to Yankee Stadium, you're like, yeah, I'm so happy I did what I did yesterday, because there's about 100 plus more of these to go. And listen, it's not even playoffs yet. And listen, when October comes, everything else shuts off. I mean, that's simple.
That's bars right there.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, I can't remember when was the last time I had a great summer. All right, great summer. That's my great summer, going to games, yes. But I'm talking about summer activities, right? Can't remember. So it's great how you and the wife is out and about during the summer. So
got it.
That's awesome.
All right, my second part of the question is, do you have a favorite Yankee memory together, or a Yankee game that you attended together?
Honestly, our most recent game, we last minute bought tickets to the second game of the wild card against the Red Sox. So the Yankees are already down 0-1 in the series, and then the Yankees, have that not really a comeback, because there was just sort of a back and forth game. Wells with the single down the line, Jazz comes all the way around to score. What made that ultra special is I also brought my dad with me, and my dad and I, we don't go to a lot of games as often as we used to. Obviously, when I was a younger kid. Now that I'm older, I'm going out with my friends. I'm going with the lady. I'm going by myself. There, CK. When I met you for the first time, it was at a game where I literally went by myself. Never did that before. Always went with somebody. Went with my friends. But going to that game with two of the closest people in my life, especially the guy who got me into baseball, and then the woman I'm about to marry, and to watch that and watch that victory together was so special. So easily the best experience, and honestly, CK, probably the best game I've ever been to as a Yankee fan.
Love that.
So when you're gonna write to me when you're at the game? I'm always there. We gotta meet.
Now, well, officially now that's going to happen. Absolutely. It's funny now, ever since I kind of got into the content game, well, really expanded over the last couple of years. Now that I go to games, I'm getting hit up by the people that I met through some streams and some of the spaces, and they're just there. So absolutely, at the 2026, I'm hitting you up before I go to my games. Make sure we meet up.
All right. Awesome. I told CK as well. I want to meet you. We've been following each other on Instagram for a while, so I think it's time.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely more than time. I'm glad we did this. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Well, guys, this has been episode 25. Shout out to Rich right here. Amazing guest. Tell us what you got going with ESB, any future projects that you got going on.
Oh, man, a lot of future projects with this. Empire State of Baseball, we're about to enter off-season mode. We got a couple weeks left of our shows. We've been still going strong, even with the Yankees and Mets seasons over. We're still following along to now the World Series with the Dodgers and Jays getting going. But we have 2 more episodes left, Mondays, 8 o'clock p.m. once we get into our off-season schedule, we enter a tri-weekly, every 3 week schedule, just to keep the lights on because there's still so much to talk about throughout the baseball season. And it kicks off with my favorite episode of the year, what we call the off-season agenda. And that's when me and Tom play the part of Yankees general managers, and we kind of discuss what would be our off-season game plan if we had to lay it out to Brian Cashman and the Yankees brass. And Joe and Corey are doing the same thing on the Mets side. What would be their game plan if they had to lay that out to Steve Cohen and David Stearns? The all-season agenda episode is going to be live on X, Instagram, and YouTube on Monday, November the 17th. So just a week and a half before everybody starts carving turkey, we got to start carving up free agents and trade target pie over here at Empire State of Baseball. So you guys want to tune in for that episode on Monday, November the 17th.
I also want to give a shout out to your ESB NOI crew, Sierra, who had me on her show last week. If you guys want to see it, possibly me embarrass myself, check out that link. Check out that episode.
CK's a Swiftie. He's a newborn Swiftie, thanks to Sierra.
Well, not just that. He's also...
I've been a Dua Lipa fan. Just it came out on the last
Dua
episode.
Lipa fan. I need. What do they call the Dua Lipa lips? Like, what do they call the Lipa fan?
I don't know. I call her
name.
I call her Lipa. The duo of whatever I said that day, and you got a little angry. So now I think you're a really big fan. You're sticking up for her, man.
I am.
The Lipas.
Lipas. There you go.
And shout out to Chris Nieves. He's the reason why I am CK. For those that don't know. So shout out to your crew at ESB NYY as well.
Love my crew. Shout out to Chris, Sierra, Tom, Joe, Corey, Keith. They're all a big part of what we're putting together over at Empire State of Baseball. Truly has become an Avengers-like team here over at ESB. We're looking to expand on that come 2026.
We'll subscribe to Rich and ESB NY and ESB on YouTube. We're going to include the links in the description. Other than that, it's been episode 25. Stay tuned for episode 26. That's my co-host, Anthony King of the Pinstripes. And go Yanks as always.
Go Yanks. Let's go.
Let's go.